For me in Oaxaca, it's been a 12, 13-year love affair that just keeps growing stronger. What I'm doing here comes from the way I cook, through my upbringing, being an Italian American, and it was super exciting to see a lot of similarities between Italian food and Oaxacan food. For me, the parallels, like, once the door opened, it didn't close. Oaxacan cuisine to me almost isn't even Mexican cuisine. Once I got closer to it, I realized how many subcultures were going on down there, that food is everything. It's super delicate and gentle and simple, and it's also very complex and fierce and bold. That to me is really beautiful, and as a chef, what I'm doing is really just sharing experiences and memories that I've picked up down there, and that's something that I think is really sincere. When we first found this place, the thing that attracted to me about it the most was this grill. All the places that I love to eat in Oaxaca are usually on the street, maybe sitting on a milk crate. It's always based around the comal, which is a big, flat, red clay topped disc kind of, with like a earthen hearth underneath, and it's fueled by wood. And that to me is the heart of Oaxacan cuisine. The comal is also great because the size that we have allows us to make clayudas, which are basically giant oversized tortillas that we start on the comal and set them kind of like you would a tortilla, and then they move over to the grill that we have next to it. And from there, we can fold them on the grill with stuff inside them, kind of like you would see people doing with the quesadilla. In Oaxaca, most of the meats are cut very thin. Here, just to appeal to a little bit more of American palate, we're doing a steak that's cooked about medium rare and then sliced and added to the clayuda. That's the one thing that I'd say isn't so classic Oaxacan. You get those smoky notes, you get some caramelization or carbon parts on it, and it gets really crunchy in parts, and that I think is really fun textural contrast. The things that you can put inside are endless, but it's the comal that allows us to make these big clayudas that I don't think anyone else in New York is making here or can make. Good job, as far as Mexican or even more so Oaxacan cuisine, memelas are like basically my favorite thing to eat for breakfast down there. Every morning that I'm there, it's what I have. And it's kind of like a tortilla or a taco where you can put whatever you want in it. But it's also kind of like a sope where it has pinched up edges. These edges that you're giving it and some little dents in the middle, almost like an English muffin, allow it to hold the sauce that you want to put on it. So it's creating all of these pools of pork fat or salsa or cheese or whatever it is, but it's a great place for flavor to get trapped. A very typical one that you would see at most street stalls is with chorizo and potato. So that's one of the ones that we do here at Claro. At the end, you add a little bit of potato, it sucks up some of the juices and the fat, and that's what we top our memela with. Chociotes are another fun thing that have a special place in my heart, being an Italian American and feeling so close to pasta and gnocchi that all of a sudden I realized that there was a dumpling made from masa as well, and I was like, what? That for me has been something really fun to play with here, where traditionally there you would often see them in a lot of soups and stuff, and we've done that, but I've had a lot of fun getting away from that and treating it like a pasta and browning them in butter and searing them off and adding wild mushrooms and meats and, you know, stocks and sauces that you would often see in maybe an Italian application, and just really having fun with it. Later in life, I became gluten intolerant, and I had this big hole in my heart for pasta that needed to be filled by something. Masa was there for me. Growing up with having all these Italian-style braises and stews that you would put all this love into, and then pasta would be the vehicle for that. Now all of a sudden Masa was doing the same thing. from a chef's point of view, like here in New York, everything is so modern and you can order something from your phone to have any kind of food you want at your doorstep in any second. But to step away from that and get back to actually like land where people are growing food and so connected to it, and like the food that they cook is what they have and what they make with it is so amazing that like I feel honored to go down there and see that and bring it back here to my food and have the same respect with it here. I think that the food culture is really deep in all of Mexico, but in Oaxaca it was a little more apparent that like this is something really special and something that I've never seen before. And it took me by surprise that there was so much going on, so many flavors, and so many things that I had never seen before that it was kind of immediately addicting. I needed to get more information, I needed to see more, I needed to eat more, and that's kind of how it all started, and I've been addicted ever since.